Welcome back to What She Said Sports. Yay! I ain't saying you're a gold digger. That's the thing for many of the post now memes of Travis, his new bride, his wedding, the situation. I've seen Jamie Foxx memes going around. And honestly, I didn't think I would see much of it on Twitter because I felt like, because I follow Twitter for sports, that is primarily, that's what it is. It's sports, right? So, um, yeah. But dynamic duo are trending again, but again, for different reasons. Now, Shador Sanders basically said goodbye to his in his final episode of Too Legendary. That's the podcast he had while he was at CU. He said he didn't know when he would be back because, and he said 12 is locked in. But, he still calls himself 2 every now and then. And when people refer to Shador as 12, it seems to have somehow forever linked him with Tom Brady. Essentially people saying, oh, he's starting off like Tom Brady. And as a quick reminder, no, he's not. Why? Because Shador Sanders was projected first round draft pick. Tom Brady was not. He was never a high draft pick. So yes, Shador will likely go on to be one of the best QBs in the league. However, we're not going to cover over the fact of what they did to him in the NFL draft. All right, so it's lunch and stream time. Welcome, 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 everybody. Travis Hunter is also taking some shots. He's getting some shots thrown his way. I wouldn't say he's catching strays. It feels a little orchestrated. So yesterday I saw a post, and this is not about his wedding. This is about him as a football player, and we're gonna take a look at it. So yesterday I saw a post from a page that follows rookies in the NFL, and they said that the conversation is starting to frame itself when they see Travis doing all the dancing on the field, is that's starting to get on everybody's nerves. And they pointed out that Brian Thomas Jr., that's the receiver that will be opposite Travis, has had enough. Now, again, it's a lot of quotes, a lot of words with a lot of quotes attached. But again, I don't see any names. So here we go with the anonymity, but this time it's hurled at Travis. So my question was, who said this? And they were like, fans are saying, leave that Colorado energy in Colorado. I'm like, time out, flag on the play. Excuse me, Colorado energy. Trav dancing on the field is Colorado energy, but you don't see Shador doing it. You don't see Jimmy Horn doing it. That's Travis. That's who y'all got, okay? That's Travis. He has happy energy, joy, call it what you want to. But don't try to slick hate on the Colorado football program by saying you tired of seeing Travis dance when he's one person and now it's the whole Colorado program. Slick hate. I see the slick hate. And if he want to be happy and dance and the coach don't have no problems with it, then hey. So here we go with the anonymity, which is why my subpoena list is going to keep growing. I'm like, because I'm sorry. I'm sick of the anonymity, all of this said in quotes, all of that said in quotes. Travis is happy, let him be happy. If the coaches don't have no problem with it, then he good. But y'all not going to slick hate and attribute Travis's dancing on the field to the entire Colorado program when you don't see nobody else from Colorado in NFL dancing. That's just trying to attack the program, and that leads me back to the draft. So we were talking how, when Shador got drafted, that's when the rest of our guys got drafted. And it seemed to be an attack on the recruiting program. And why would the NFL care? Why would they care if they want you to leave what you did in college behind? Because clearly there's somebody within that organization that feels the need to suppress the success of Coach Prime from Colorado. Now, is it one of his old buddies from the NFL? It's been pointed out that everybody in the media, NFL media rooms, know Coach Prime. You know what I'm saying? So why they coming for the Colorado program? We know it's successful. I could expect it from college, other competition and coaches, but from the NFL, it seems a little orchestrated and it seems a little fixed. And somebody needs to get to the bottom of it, because Damages will ensue if people start to leave or choose not to come because they hating on the number 2 player in the draft. They push down the number 1 player in the draft. And it's obvious to all of us that Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter were both first-round draft picks. And Coach Prime should have had 2 first-round draft picks. And we know this is not about Coach Prime personally, like people said it was. Because why? Because Bucky has now what? Been granted unprecedented access to film for the NFL due to his success with well-off media at Jackson State in Colorado. So somebody better get to the bottom of it. Hey, guys. Hey, everybody. So it was nice watching 2 legendary Shedeur's last podcast for a while. Like he said, he's locked in. He's getting, he said 12 is locked in. He was like, shoot. And I was like, we see you, Shedeur, because we still call you 2 in our hearts. Don't worry about it, boo. Don't worry about it. So he said it. I'm locked in. He said, man, I just go to practice, go home, sleep, and read my playbook. He said it's challenging to learn. It's not difficult, but it is a lot to learn. It seems like it's a lot. It's not that it's difficult. It's just a lot to ingest. So that's what he's focused on. And that tells you that when Shilo stayed in Tampa and didn't go to the wedding, it's because he locked in. And again, the wedding was time for Travis and his bride. It was not time for really the NFL and our rookies and people that they wanted to attend outside of their family. Because why? These guys are locked in. Yeah, I know Jimmy made it, but he probably had to go through some things to get there. Because when he started his show, his episode on Colorado football, behind the scenes of the draft, he was packing up his car and he was saying, I wanted to go out there and support Shedeur. He wanted to go to his draft party. He said, but I had things I still had to do here. Right? So he said I had a flight and everything, but he couldn't make it. Because imagine if he would have went to that draft party, then he would have went to this. It's like he had to choose. So he probably chose to go to the wedding. And I'm sure it's no hard feelings. I'm sure he was like, well, I'm going to have to pick and choose. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the wedding. I get it. I'm sure Shedeur gets it. Nobody holds it against him. He didn't even get drafted the first night. And we don't know how long his flight was to keep him in Dallas. But these guys are all busy and had something to do. The wedding worked for the wedding party. The guests, they just had to make choices. And I believe that's why Shedeur came in. Remember, this is not a place that's by an airport. It's a small town, Athens, Tennessee, between Knoxville and Chattanooga, right? So I got to make effort to get there. So I don't care what he looked like. He made the effort to get there, show up before the wedding, and get back to his studies. Anybody know anything about Shedeur? He studies a lot. He watches film. He said he's studying his playbook, So I applaud him for showing up. I applaud Jimmy Horn Jr. for showing up. I applaud Jimmy Horn Jr. for what? For prioritizing himself rather than the draft party, because it's stuff he had to do too. And friends understand that. Friends understand that. So, shout out to the guys, and I hate that, it seems like Trav's starting to get, shots taken at him because of his joy. Now, I said it, and I'm going to say it again. A lot of what we see from Travis is masking something. He might have been nervous. He might, he's back from the wedding. Everybody's talking about him on social media. So, maybe, he doing that to kind of like, just kind of like, I'm happy. I'm good. But then I'm blocking out just in case anybody got something to say, right? I can see it. He is literally the top of social media right now. I heard one post this morning. My phone was full of posts. People sent to me. My co-producer sent to me. People saying that, Travis, congratulations, gave his bride a beautiful wedding. And he did. But he did not protect himself. That's not how they said it. I'm just paraphrasing. And it's like, Travis is a mastermind on the field, on the football field, without a doubt. But they refer to him as an imbecile of a person. One dude said he cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs behind this girl. And another person said he's so oblivious as to what's going on. The way she looks and the way he looks, they smiling, but for different reasons. And you can see there's something behind it. And all of it's true. All of it's true. So when all of it's true and you choose to be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs behind a girl and give away your generational wealth, because understand this, heaven forbid, if something tragic were to happen to Travis tomorrow and he lost his life. He's married now, right? All that goes to his bride and what she want to do with it, and he didn't protect his family. That's shameful. That's shameful, unless you just hate them. And maybe that's what it is. But his little brother too. His little brother too. That's what prenups are for. Insurance, inheritance. Yes, I'm marrying you, but I want this to go to my brother. Yes, that's what they're for. It's not just about money. I heard two guys talking about it, and they were like, I got married at Travis's age, but I was broke. It's not just about what you have right now. It's about your future earnings too, and what happens in case you pass on. And honestly, you don't plan a will the same day you get married. So that's where prenup steps in and puts provisions in place so the state don't go, well, what do we have here? Let me just see. The wife makes the determination. That was one of the biggest takeaways when I studied Jim Thorpe. And that's the award I think that they kept away from Travis, right? The Jim Thorpe Award. Is that the one they didn't even put him on as a finalist because he was winning everything? So check this out. Jim Thorpe was, y'all know he was Native American. He got married to a lady that wasn't. She's white. And when he died, his wife had sole access and sole rights to do whatever. And his body was auctioned off as memorabilia. And it's somewhere in the Poconos. And his siblings, I think, thought about that, or his children, until they were in nursing homes. See, that's the type of thing that prenups can protect. Yes, this is my wife, but I want my money in a trust, and I want my mama to be the trustee, or I want my brother to receive a trust. That's what he's protecting. But he just like, my wife gonna handle everything, as if he don't know who his wife is. That's called being, I think it may be oblivious, but it's delusional. Let's just be real here. That would be perfect if it was anybody that had not already dragged him through multiple scandals. And y'all know why. Cheating and public disrespect multiple times. We talked about Xavier Worthy. How, look at his situation that blew up. He ended up in jail for 2 days. And we didn't hear anything negative about his situation. But we heard all the negativity and more than we even wanted to know about Travis, which is why everybody was shocked 12 a.m. after the wedding the next day, about lunchtime. WTF, he married her? And you know why they said her, emphasis on her? After all of that, that tells you that when he shut off his social media and before he came back, he just let it ride. There were no consequences. I saw a clip of a snippet when he interviewed with Shador on Shador's podcast. And y'all know they talked about the wedding, and Shador was like, we could have it out at Pop's late prime. And honestly, they could have. They just could have. Let's just be honest. And he was like, no. He was like, and I know a good lawyer. He was like, no. I was like, he already knew way back then he was not getting a prenup. He moved forward with the premises. I trust her implicitly, even though he had absolutely no reason not to. And she might have been shocked at times. It would surprise me if she got text messages with her friend, the friend, saying, girl, he all right with it. He ain't say nothing. Oh, it wouldn't surprise me at all. On one podcast, they're talking about how he just didn't protect himself. He seems too aloof to protect himself. And then he's catching all these direct hits about his jolliness on the field. And I hope this kid really pans out. But then he got this personal life over here. And they talked about the truck that he bought her, saying that they think it might be bulletproof. And they said the crazy part is it might need to be, because he gonna be the one that grab a grenade launcher and snap. And I said that. People that smile and laugh and joke and play all the time, ooh, when they figure it out, you better run. Because they said he likely gonna slip both of his wrists and be running down the street in pools of blood trying to fire it up as she takes off. They not lying. If Xavier Worthy, who probably, we don't know what his situation was like, ended up in jail for 2 days. We don't know. So if he dancing on the field, it's because he knows in the back of his mind, the people he's around likely has thoughts about his poor decisions. And he trying to make himself feel okay and not feel what they think of him, that I'm stupid. That's a defense mechanism. I told y'all all that masking jolliness and this, that, and the other, and it don't make sense. It's irrational. It's a defense mechanism. He either at some point masking pain or he masking poor decision making. And he don't want to know what people think about it. And people are like, I saw one post that said, shame on Travis for not protecting himself. But where are his friends, his family, his homeboy, his coaches? I was like, oh, time out, flag on the play. Flag on the play. Because we know Coach Prime tried. People are saying that's why Coach Prime wasn't there. Honestly, I don't know why Coach Prime wasn't there. I really don't. But here's the thing. I wouldn't blame him if he didn't go. Because he has tried. He looks at this man like a son. And this is the one son that don't listen, that puts himself and his generational wealth at risk. If she want to wake up tomorrow and give everybody in her family $1 million, what he gonna do? Cry about it because that's all you can do. What you gonna do? Divorce her? Because then she gonna get the rest. He had the upper hand and gave it away. Jamie Foxx memes all over the place. So when you see this and all of that, he's trying to insulate himself from what he knows the outside world is thinking. See, when you know that people know you making a mistake and you still go ahead and do it anyway, that's a different kind of fool. Oh, I know y'all don't like her. Okay, did you ask yourself why? I mean, you shouldn't have to ask yourself. I know I should have a prenup. That's a different kind of fool. And when things go south, as they say, it ain't gonna be good. People are pointing out they saw lots of pictures with her family. Where was his family? There's one video going around where they found his family, and I guess one person was his mom, but I thought it was a lady that worked there because I thought she had on the name tag, and they all was like this. I mean, the looks on their faces. It's almost like he did this to spite his family. You think they would have held him down and everybody took punches every day of his life, and now he like, I'm gonna marry her and give her all the money. That's basically how he's acting. Not that they're my family, but I don't like y'all, and I'm coming into this generational wealth, and I can't spend it all myself, so I'm gonna give it to her and middle finger to y'all. That's how he acted. That's how he acted. And the person that said, "Mom and Daddy, this y'all fault," they are absolutely correct. See, this the consequences of not protecting your children. These are what you saw with Travis Hunter. You didn't instill no self-worth in him. You didn't teach him how to protect himself. You didn't value him. You didn't teach him how to value himself. And you done let this little girl come along who was told he a gold mine, and she did what people who know how to chase paper do. I told y'all she done one up Brittany Reiner, and I ain't lying. And it ain't even over with yet. Mama and Daddy, Mr. and Mrs. Hunter, this on y'all. If y'all don't get a dime, it's on y'all. Y'all could have protected him. Y'all could have told him to value himself. Y'all could have protected him when he was a 5-star athlete. Now they got people going around and saying, she been with him so long, scouts wasn't even checking for him. When they got together, scouts wasn't checking for him. That's his high school sweetheart. No, it's not. They did not go to high school together. She was in college. Her brother, and he tells the story. Yeah, her brother looked at her phone and saw I text her and told her. And he thinks that's a compliment. Oblivious. The song, I ain't saying she a gold digger, really don't even fit here. Because that's if there's doubt. There's absolutely no doubt here. There's absolutely no doubt because they went through the scandal that he was supposed to walk away from, just like Xavier Worthy. He walked away from it or tried to after they released him from jail after 2 days. And then he got to turn around and sue her for his good name. Guys are talking, and it's a lot of guys taking the lead on these videos because they're talking about how it's essentially an epidemic. It's an epidemic out here, they said, where women get with guys scamming them out of money. I want y'all to know, back in the day, the only reason men got married was for what? So they can get what they wanted. And women needed to get married because they couldn't work. So they had to get with a dude whether they liked him or not. So gold digging is not new. It was a necessary evil if you were a woman. But that's not the case today. Women can work and you ain't even got to go to work. You could just be a social media princess. And you could get your money that way. And you ain't got to get married to the dude. Y'all could just be in a relationship and people know isn't that how rapper baby mamas blow up? Oh, off the rapper boyfriend clout? Yeah. Some of them had some business sense before and was putting it together, but understand this. We say that about Sweetie. She was, Sweetie coming along, but when she got with Quavo, wow, that whole relationship dynamic, they get to rise off the name, which is exactly what Coach Prime was saying when he established trust funds for their kids in their 30s. When you grow up, I want you to use the name I have built for you. And here we are. Bucky is associated with the NFL for media now. Unprecedented access. Just like Travis said, she brought me a truck. And I was like, and how'd she do that? And he tried to say she got her own money. Yeah, off of your name. See, he don't know that that's what was happening the whole time. He didn't look at the fact that when they was at Jackson State and they started a channel together, that was so she could make money because he didn't even understand. And it was guys in the comments, droves. Travis, you need to stop putting everything in her name and go ahead and get your own channel. And he didn't even have his own social media channel first. So the way that relationship started out is it culminated into the wedding. People say she obviously running everything and making all decisions. And he just gleefully, joyfully smiling like a field hand. That's what he looked like sometimes. I just hate to say it. And I don't know if Travis feels like that about himself, but that's what he makes a mockery of when he acts like that. No self-worth, zero. So whoever said, was a guy that said, Mama and Daddy, this on y'all. This ain't on his high school coaches because he should have had self-worth just like the rest of these 5-star athletes in high school. This ain't on Coach Prime because we all know and it's well documented. He even brought Brittany Reiner in and now y'all know why. And I bet she knew why Brittany Reiner was there. I don't think she probably liked them. I honestly, I don't think so. But they say when women doing shady stuff in relationships, they don't like the guy that they cheating on. They don't like his friends. And also, I got to isolate you from everybody else because I don't want them to see what I'm doing because you might not be smart enough to catch on, but your friends are, which is why when there were guys that came over to the house, the Twitch streamers, Travis had guys over, they were all having fun in the room playing the video games, and she had attitude. She was uncomfortable with other people around Travis because she didn't want anybody else to put Travis on game. And it worked. So Mama and Daddy, if you don't get a dime, that's on y'all. You failed your son. You failed your son. You didn't instill no self-worth in him. You didn't teach him how to protect himself. You didn't value him. Even as a 5-star prospect, he thought he had nothing. He was living at home. That's on y'all. So the daddy trying to get to Jacksonville so he could live there, and the judge said no. The judge peeped game too. Because you wasn't there then. So I'm not making no more exceptions. I let you go to the draft. I let you go to the wedding. And the fact that I couldn't even spot the mom at the wedding says a lot. I saw her daddy. I saw what looked like her uncle, his auntie, somebody else. I saw all kind of people that was with her, but I didn't see. I didn't see that. I'm not saying it don't exist, but I didn't see it. Mama and daddy, that's on y'all. So Shador is out here doing his thing. Travis is out here doing his thing. Everybody back at OTAs. The Jacksonville Jaguars conversation regarding Travis is he gonna play on both sides of the ball or not? We're gonna have to see. Because going into it, I think they thought yes. But something they have seen, and maybe it's the passes from Trevor Lawrence, make them feel like he need more work on the receiver side. So maybe we just gonna let you focus over that. But see, here's the problem. If that's what happens, if that's what comes of it, they're gonna have to figure out how to backpedal out of what they said he could do. Because they were going into it that he was gonna play both sides. But now they kind of starting to see some things, and they might need to figure out how to get out of that and sit down and say, hey, you know what? We're gonna see how he do with these OTAs, but we might need to get him to focus on one side. Colorado had another two-way player, Isaiah Harge, but now he focusing on one side. See, everybody not a Travis Hunter. And that's obvious. And that meant that way back in high school in 7-on-7 when Cam Newton saw it, when Destroying saw it, his mom and daddy should have protected him. So Shador's the conversation in Cleveland. They said, hell, Shador could go in the Hall of Fame after after OTAs. They say he had some sessions where he was 12 of 12. What we received information on was 7 of 9 that I saw clips of. And yeah, he looked good. And I told y'all yesterday that they listed them on a stat sheet basically by jersey number. That remember Green Shirt from the podcast at ESPN in Cleveland. Remember Green Shirt? Well, Green Shirt is back with the weirdo takes and said, OTAs look good. And the guy was like, who was the best one out there in your opinion? And Green Shirt, who also had on the green shirt again, said, Joe Flacco, hands down. Everybody knows what Shador. That's what I mean by they stepping over themselves, jumping over hurdles, and you're going to see them climbing ladders to do everything to keep Shador from QB1. And if he make it to QB2, I promise you, they're going to be hoping and praying Joe Flacco don't get hurt. I'm telling you, they don't want this young man to be QB1. This is not a real competition. It's obvious that Flacco and Shador are the 1 and 2. Just over experience in the league, they're going to let Flacco start. I want somebody, what's today's date? 5/29. They're going to let Flacco start. He went to the Super Bowl, won one. He has NFL experience. He's going to start. Shador is pro ready. But we know they trying to keep Shador out the QB1 spot. Flacco going to start. They already saying Kenny Pickett looked the worst. He the one that should be traded. But now they got to figure out what to do because he was just on a Super Bowl winning team. And you sent DTR over there behind Jalen Hurts, and you brought me over here, and now you want me to go to the Saints? Well, they got a hot mess down there. That's probably what's going to happen. The Saints get ready to be the beneficiary of Cleveland's mess, but Cleveland, the Giants, and the Saints are always in cahoots. Pay attention to how their players get traded around to each other. They're the worst teams for a reason because they do things based off of preference, and they were all in on the defamation, the public humiliation, and the devaluing of Shador Sanders in the draft. All 3 teams. Bet money on it. So Shador coming out looking like roses. I say he putting up rookie of the year numbers. Other posters saying, hell, he looked like he could go in the Hall of Fame. Which means he's pro ready. But they're not going to let him do what he was sent to do, and that's beat QB1. So keep your eyes open. You're going to one day say, that's exactly what she said. That's why I named this podcast, What She Said Sports. A lot of things I've said, I've heard Ryan Clark say. I've heard a lot of other people say, and they don't see this channel. This channel is still growing. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. So we get ready to take a look at some posts that I have curated on my Twitter feed for us before we get out of here because, you know, people got to get back. So we're going to take a look. We're going to take a look. Let me share my screen. All right, let's see here. Right. So this is it right here. Travis Hunter personality is currently going viral for being the exact opposite of Brian Thomas Jr. Not that Travis should be Brian Thomas Jr. It says several fans are reportedly fed up with Hunter's bubbly personality and want to see him fully focused on football as Brian Thomas Jr. is. And at the top, I'm like, Colorado energy. What this got to do with Colorado, the state or the university? This is Travis Hunter. That's who he is. That's who y'all drafted. All right. So it said, quote, don't bring that Colorado energy to Jacksonville. I did not like that. This was cool for a little bit, but you can tell BTJ, which is Brian Thomas Jr., wants him to lock in. It says it's in his blood to go for clicks over wins. Get used to this. Despite the recent hate, Hunter has reportedly made serious progress in his route tree and is starting to see some defensive work. Fans need to chill and let Travis be Travis. So again, this is after the wedding. You got to put it into context. You know, a lot of people have thoughts and opinions. He's being talked about all over the place. This is how Travis, this is his defense mechanism. This is his shield. This is how, because I don't even remember him doing all this at Colorado. So I don't know where they're coming from with that Colorado energy. This some NFL energy because, you know, he just went ahead and flushed his generational wealth down the drain and didn't protect his own family. So that's what this is. That's a mask. That's the term for it. That's a mask. So, yeah, leave Colorado out of that. All right. So, let me go back to, so that's Trav. That's basically, and again, there's no names associated with this unless he went around to fans' pages and got this information. But after the anonymity that was used against Shador Sanders, I don't think anybody should report like this. You need to say where you got this from, especially if it's negative and could be harmful. All right, so this is Jimmy Horn Jr. As you can see, the Carolina Panthers in love with Jimmy Horn Jr. And this is a clip from Colorado football production of Jimmy Horn Jr. behind the scenes. As you can see, the first hat he goes to is the Carolina Panthers. His little brother is like, I want him to go to the Panthers. I watched the call the Panthers made to Jimmy. He, you know, he was excited because that's where he wanted to go. He did a 30 for 30 with them. I just think they should have picked him sooner. Because now they in a precarious situation they have placed themselves in. Ted McMillan was their number one receiver that they took in the first round. And they love Jimmy Horn Jr. You know what I'm saying? And they say he could start. You know what that means? That they should have picked him sooner. So how do you're going to have to highlight them both because they keep gravitating toward Jimmy. In fact, yesterday I saw a post that from the Carolina Panthers page that said Jimmy Horn Jr. putting in that work. I'm like, You see what happens when you play around? You end up in a situation. And now you done drafted him number 200 and something. And you drafted McMillan, number 8. And you basically robbed Jimmy. I'm just going to go on and say it. And you pay McMillan, but you keep gravitating towards Jimmy. You see what I'm saying about devaluing people and how it makes the organizations look? And it makes you question, do y'all really know what y'all doing? You just out here giving out money because you're not building teams based on talent and valuing these players as they should be valued. It's not a meritocracy. So I'm happy to see them loving on him, but somebody need to give him an endorsement. In fact, I kept forwarding Jimmy posts. I was trying to forward it to Jordan Brand because he wears Jordan cleats. He wears Jordan sneakers. If he'd have went in the second round, they both probably could have endorsements, and they really could. I'm like, he actually wears, that's all Jimmy wears on and off the field. It's J's. So if y'all know how to get in touch with Jordan Brand, y'all let me know. Because it would be great if they made Jimmy Horn Jr. a Jordan Brand athlete also, not in lieu of, also. I mean, multiple things can happen at the same time. You don't have to just have one. And I'm not saying he has to have the same contract. But the point is, it shows you that they went with McMillan because of where he was drafted. And that's why I say where you get drafted matters, especially when it comes to money and endorsements from major partners. But they love Jimmy Horn Jr. You see what I'm saying? So while he's grateful, and that's not his issue, that is an issue that I see. It's an observation. It's an observation. And I hope it happens for him because he actually wears the Jordan cleats. So anybody's deserving of it, he should definitely have one in addition. Absolutely. And then legendary mode. Okay. So now I told y'all how I feel about them comparing Shador Sanders to Tom Brady. That is a false argument because why? Shador Sanders was a first round draft pick. Tom Brady was not. He was never an elite draft prospect. Yes, he turned out to be great. Shador was already great. So that's a false argument. And I don't even like the comparison to Tom Brady because Tom Brady stood silent when he could have had courage just like Isaac Newsom. And in fact, Tom Brady being a part owner had more power than the GM, in my opinion. How are you a part ownership and partaking in the receipts and the things that the goodness that comes from the limited partnership? But you, as Tom Brady, the person they even brought you in for to evaluate quarterbacks, stand silent while they probably try to publicly buck break Shador Sanders. No, don't like the comparison at all. And it's a false argument. This is Shador putting up numbers, the most efficient of any QB, 7 of 9, 100 plus yards, 3 touchdowns, putting on an absolute show. Shador is him. He's pro ready. And that's a testament because I believe Travis is pro ready. I believe if nothing distracts him, Travis is pro ready. Shador is pro ready. Jimmy Horn Jr. is pro ready. The things that they said about Jimmy Horn Jr. made me question if Carolina Panthers even had scouts at all. He's one of the twitchiest receivers we've ever seen. Yeah, us too. That's what we said at Colorado. And didn't y'all come out there? So at Pro Day, he proved that. So he definitely should have been drafted higher. Definitely should have been drafted higher. And, you know, devaluing the CU players is what I'm seeing that they did. So you need to get that under control before it becomes a major, major problem again. All right. So that's Shador. And the question is, since other quarterbacks are starting to come back to voluntary OTAs for veterans, who had the better NFL career? Let's see what y'all think. Y'all know I follow quarterbacks for the most part, unless you went to CU, then I follow everybody. Joe Burrow or Lamar Jackson. So I was like, I don't know. I don't know. But it says Lamar Jackson has 4 Pro Bowls, Joe Burrow's 2. Lamar Jackson had 3 playoff wins, and Joe Burrow had 5. And touchdowns, 199 to 152 for Burrows. Lamar 199, 20,000. I mean, it looks like Lamar Jackson is the better QB. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. Drop Burrows or drop, is it Burrow? Is it Burrow with an S? Burrow. I don't know why we got an S on this man's name. Burrow or Jackson. Let me know what y'all think who's the better QB. It looks like Lamar Jackson is the better QB. And I think Lamar Jackson is the number 1 QB in the league. And yes, they are trying to convert him to a pocket passer. So, you know, I doubt that happens. Lamar Jackson was the same way like Shador Sanders. And oddly enough, it was Coach Prime, and that was pointed out on somebody's broadcast. I have yet to find it. It was pointed out that Coach Prime was the one that interviewed Lamar Jackson while he was being devalued and pushed to number 32 in the first round when he should have been drafted top 10 with his peers. And I remember that was while he was waiting, Coach Prime was being encouraging. And after he got drafted, Coach Prime asked Lamar, how do you feel or whatever? He said, I'm just happy to be a Baltimore Raven. Shador Sanders is the same way. These guys, the love for the game, the passion that they have, the excitement to get out there and go play on Sundays overrides any of the foolishness that they have to face. Any of the hurdles that are put before them and they see that they're not put before their colleagues. All of it. That's how much they love the game. That don't mean the NFL is right. So to have a lawsuit come from a fan perspective is spot on. That's exactly what needs to happen. That's exactly where accountability needs to come from. So, you know, we'll see what happens next. But, you know, our guys, the dynamic duo, are still in the news Just like at CU, they dominated. In college, they dominated. Whether it was the headlines or on the field, I expect the same thing of Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter in the NFL. Yes, it would have been nice to have them on the same team, but and they don't even play each other, I don't think, this year. So it's a mess. So we just have to root for them, individually. So, all right. So it's 40 minutes in. Let me see where y'all are. Let's see what we have here. All right. Hey, everybody. Charlotte, how you doing? Y'all hit the like button for me. If you can't stay long, make sure you hit the like button on the way out. It said we back in this thing. Yep, Chris, we are back. K Hayes, Jerry. K Hayes said, why they continue to promote Hunter and Sanders in their socials, they posted pics from Travis' wedding. Yeah, they did. You have to look up what Jimmy the Greek said years ago about a black man going into coaching. Oh, okay. Jimmy the Greek. Oh, okay. All right. Make a little quick note. And it says, good food, good music. Hello, hey, how y'all doing? Elijah, welcome. Marlon, welcome. Jen said, I got to get used to these morning streams with the sunlight coming in. What time zone are you in, Jen? Are you in Cali? Oh, Lord, that is so funny. Reality checks, good lunch. I believe I saw Bucky confirm he had NFL access on Well Off between the Super Bowl time or a little after. This is why the draft drama upset me, because Bucky Ben had access. Oh, good. That's good insight. Thank you for that, reality checks. And I said, okay, I want to see if that moves forward. I want to see if that moves forward and what it looks like. That's what I'm waiting on. Thank you for that, reality checks. Silently boycott the NFL, turn the TV off. Maybe this isn't a good idea. I don't know. What other options? Sue? Class action lawsuit from fans. That's the best option. And there is cause. So yeah, that's really the best action. I'm not being facetious at all. Fans, class action lawsuit from the fans following the NFL draft is the best option, because we were lured into watching the draft, and Shedeur Sanders was a strategy. In fact, on my phone is a post that I took a screenshot of that a fan made a video on how they pushed Shedeur Sanders down in the draft, but pinned him to their socials for the NFL. So so he was like, y'all, they scammed us. They pulled us in to watch Shedeur get drafted, and they pushed him down. And then they made him the feature on their socials. I have that in my phone. The fans have to hold the NFL accountable. A class action lawsuit following the draft is warranted. It's warranted. We sick of this, because we're not gonna have no real football if we don't sue as fans. I'm just gonna be honest, because all of this foolishness about Shedeur Sanders. I mean, clearly the young man is the best quarterback they have. I don't care who they went got. I don't care who they drafted. He was the best quarterback they had. They knew that. That's why they pursued him extensively. So yes, they did violate the Consumer Protection Act, because this is not what you said it was. You lured us to a public hanging under the guise that it was a celebratory event. And also in my phone, I have a post from somebody associated with the NFL saying it's embarrassing that people believe that the media or anybody else can run around and tell teams different things, and we will back away from them. This is supposed to be a celebratory event, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, yep, it sure was. And it was not. You lured us to a public lynching. That's what it was. That's what you lured us to, and you know it. You know it, because the prank proves it. That young man who they refused to identify or hold accountable was associated with somebody way high up. And it's not lost on me that there was an Ole Miss connection to the New York Giants, and it runs through the Mannings. It's not. The fans have to hold the NFL accountable. Charlotte Panthers, Carolina Panthers fans held their NFL accountable by doing what? They just stopped going to the game so much that the ticket was $1. But see, we love the players, so we want to support them. So that's not the option. Class action lawsuit. And honestly, to be perfectly honest, $100 million is not enough. and neither is a billion. And I'll tell you why. In 2021, the NFL settled a $1 billion lawsuit, billion with a B, for violating the Civil Rights Act because it had policies and practices, and I have said this so many times, maintaining, I could actually represent my own self in court. I just want you to know. Maintaining that Black NFL players had lower cognitive functioning than white NFL players. That was just in 2021. That's not even 5 years ago, and I heard they still fighting over that. So here we are in 2025 with it manifesting in front of 7.3 million people on how they feel about Black people. And people are like, oh, they drafted Cam Ward first. Optics. You know how many companies got sued for racial discrimination because they only had one Black person? Optics. That's not a valid argument. Look at how they treated. They pushed down Milroe too. Shador would have been 17 of 32. That's why I keep saying it. If somebody could put me together a t-shirt that says 17 of 32, I would appreciate it. I would buy it. This is about Black quarterbacks who do not make up the majority of all quarterbacks, but a very small percentage in a larger spectrum here, becoming elite and taking over as majority quarterbacks. They don't even have majority Black coaches. Matter of fact, when the season started, they said they had 6 Black coaches. Now they got 4. And we all see somebody salivating to get rid of Mike Tomlin. And the media is playing into this, just like Green Shirt down in Cleveland. Just like that Fox show, The Facility. Mike Tomlin is Mike Tomlin's problem. What did Ryan Clark say after I said it? And no, he didn't watch my channel. Mike Tomlin has lost his voice. What did I say? Mike Tomlin has perceived power. What did I say before the draft? Mike Tomlin has perceived power because they ushered Russell Wilson out of there after he took them to the playoffs, and he's in New York. Class action lawsuit. $10 billion. Yeah. The argument is there. So I think it's awful not to give Travis some credit. He's made smart decisions. Kay Hayes, I'm sorry. I like you, but I don't know what you know. But you clearly have not been following this situation as far. I'm going to tell you what credit Travis deserves credit for, okay? Hiring Mama T to plan the wedding. That's what he deserves credit for, because she made it beautiful. I was debating on whether or not, because y'all know I had a video waiting in queue of the wedding, but I didn't want the wedding no more. I wanted to show y'all how basic this place was and how lavish and beautiful and intimate and warm and welcoming Mama T made it. So if y'all want to see a video about that, I'll show you that, because the place was basic. Matter of fact, it was only $6,000. So that tell you it was basic. That wedding could have been in Georgia. It could have been anywhere, to be honest, but it definitely could have been on the Georgia side of the Blue Ridge Mountains. Thank you, Blue Moon. Thank you, Blue Moon. Thank you, Blue Moon. So I love the fact that Mama T was hired for the wedding because she did her thing. I wanted somebody, if they knew her socials, I was like, I need to just tell her personally. I don't know what your future plans are, but this need to be it right here. And the NFL need to hire her for all of its events, because man, she turned that place into and it, you know, a place with 20 acres. And yes, you can get 20 acres in Georgia. She really did that. She made it intimate. She made it warm. She made it welcoming. She made it memorable. It was gorgeous. It was lavish. It was everything it needed to be. Some people say the wedding cost $500,000. I don't really know. Their rings $5 million. I don't know, but I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it, because I know Travis. Whatever she wanted, he let her do it. And that's admirable for a man that has a good woman who is supportive of him, loves him, doesn't have him caught up and dragged through multiple cheating scandals and his good name tarnished, and have another man out here pining away, waiting on her so he could he not punting it back, he gonna run it back, and her name, his name in symbol form is tattooed on her finger. That's not for that bride. That's not for that one. That one gets the courthouse and the prenup with the clause that I showed y'all. What you have is what you have. What you earn is what you earn. What I have is what I have. And what I earn is I earn. And your debts are your debts. And you don't take no life insurance policy out on me without me knowing about it. And I want my brother to have a trust fund. And maybe my mom and them, I don't care about them, but I'm protecting my brother because he didn't do nothing to me. Elijah, and he probably have a good reason for it. So I just wish he would have protected his brother and include his brother more. The places where I see her brother, I feel like I should see his. But his brother is still in high school, and where his friends at? When her brother is his best friend, when she makes all the decisions and his family is nowhere to be found, and not even his brother's protected or included until something goes wrong. Because understand, before he got that Adidas contract, something went wrong. Understand that. And then he gets the Adidas contract like an afterthought. And I know he loves his little brother, but the problem is, just like when he didn't say anything when she called his little brother ugly, they got the same DNA, they got the same genes. If he didn't stop her then and say, hey, you don't talk about my brother like that. You know what? Come on, let's go, Trey. Let's go, little Trey. He's supposed to be an example for his brother too. But he not. It's like he think if he let her tap dance all up and down his face and surround her family around him and isolate his and leave his brother out, that she not going to walk off and leave with the quarterback, clean out the bank account, for Christmas give all her family $1 million each. She can do whatever. He had the upper hand. He gave it away. So I know all he get credit for is hiring Miss Taisha as the wedding planner because she did a wonderful job. That's all I see when I see the wedding now. What the work that she did, because it was amazing. And I hope Cam Ward hire her too, because I want to see his wedding with her spin on it, because it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful. All right, y'all. So we getting ready to wrap up and get back. 60 of us in here. Thank y'all so much. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Don't forget, we're on Spotify. There's 3 episodes on Spotify. It's time for me to drop another one following the draft, because it goes up until the draft. Travis Hunter, Overcoming Disrespect, what I think was the first episode. Shannon Sharp, I don't know what the title was, but it should be You from Glenville, Georgia. You should have known better. And Shador Sanders, The Push to 144. So my next one, the 4th one, is going to pick up from the draft, probably discuss Travis' wedding, not ad nauseum, maybe from the, I don't know, I might not talk about that. But episode 4 is coming along on Spotify. Check out What She Said Sports. Listen up by What She Said Sports. Thank you to my media team, Charlotte, Jerry, Tina, Gracie, Regina. Did I get everybody? Thank y'all so much. Shout out to the moderators, all of y'all, members, plus I know Political Ill, plus Tommy. Yeah, thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. Thank you to my members. Thank you for family, friends, my day ones, Kiel and Gracie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. To my new members, I appreciate y'all. We're going to grow in this thing together. I'm ready for a t-shirt to drop. Somebody email me about it. Daryl, holla back. So let's talk. There's some thoughts happening here, and I would love to see it. So thank y'all so much. As we grow as a platform, I appreciate it. Keep emailing me. I get back to you. I appreciate it. And keep sending me, keep me updated. I do a good job, but at the same time, I like what y'all send me too, because it rounds out what I'm thinking. So thanks for watching What She Said Sports. We will be back tonight at 9:30. I'm already started my studies on Terrell Pryor Jr. I think that was his full name. I already started studying on him at the conclusion of yesterday's podcast. So it's going to take about a day or two for me to get it all together. And thank you for the people who watched and appreciated the episode on Dante Culpepper. All right, y'all. So I'll get back. I'll see y'all later. See y'all tonight, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on What She Said Sports.